Welcome back to another episode of Hard Locks. This is the College Football Edition, where every single week, myself and Chicks are down there at the bottom. We take a look at the ESPN College Pick 'em games. We pick them, see who's the better. Chickster, how are we doing tonight?
I'm all right. I'm good. I feel a little bit better NFL side, but college side, I'm just so. Not bad, not good. I'm chilling.
It,
You
it,
know,
it could always be better. It could always be better.
always be better. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm always reaching for perfection, and when we don't get there, it's just what it is. Like I'm a big shoot for the moon, and you like, oh, I don't get there. I lay amongst the stars.
Bro, that's the corniest shit I think I've ever heard you say. We are going to push on because that was awful. I'm sorry for those watching that you had to listen to that. We're gonna go over the records real quick. Alex and I both went 6-4 last week. Our free money game did not cash. Michael Penis, Arizona covered that game pretty
No
handedly.
shot. They covered that. They
Yeah, well,
did.
I think Arizona lost by like 7. It was close. Yeah, it was a close game. That brings our overall records. I am 30-20. Chickster is 27-23. See if he can make up some ground this week. We got a good slate of
Yikes.
games though, and it starts off with probably the game of the week. It's the Red River rivalry. Number 12 Oklahoma against number 3 Texas. Texas is 5.5-point favorites. Going into last year, this has not been a kind rivalry to Texas over the last decade or so. Oklahoma, I believe, had won 4 or 5 straight matchups going into last year, and Texas curb stopped Oklahoma 49-0 last year. I think overall, Texas has the much better roster. They're better at basically every single level. They have tons of weapons on offense, and I think this is going to be another game similar to last year where they just beat the brakes off of Oklahoma. I'm taking Texas.
Garrett, it's gonna be a. You're not watching. You gotta watch me.
I'm here. I'm here.
No, I'm just
Ooh.
playing. No, I'm just playing.
Oh,
No,
I was about to say. I was about to
I
say. I was like, dang, we're starting off bold.
I'm feeling a little corny tonight. I'm sorry, guys.
We
Yeah,
can
no, I'm gonna go
tell.
with Texas. All right.
All right. Chickster is taking the Longhorns. Next up, we've got
This is me crying like internally. Like
this is the younger brother of Tua Tagovailoa. I think his name
Tawa, Tawalava, Tawalava,
Tailua potentially Tagovailoa, and the undefeated Maryland Terrapins going into Columbus to play the number 4 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Are these the fighting Carl Heisers?
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I gotta ride with Carl Heisers. I have to. Like I don't even care. I have to. I rode for fucking Nevada and they fucking won, by the way.
That is something I meant to bring up right in the beginning. A little housekeeping. Matt Hannafin doubted us in our pick of the fighting Matt Hannafins in the Wolfpack last week, and they covered. Just barely, but they covered
I'm
against
sorry.
Fresno
There's
State.
no barely covering. They fucking covered that shit.
Hey,
I
that is true. You either cover or you don't.
exactly. So we gotta go with the fighting Maryland Carl Heisers. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta go
New,
with the Carl Heisers.
the newly married Carl Heisers. Congratulations again to the happy couple. Shout out to Carl Heiser there.
Carl.
Uh, I'm also going to go with Maryland, which I think might be crazy, but this offense right now is firing on all cylinders. Tailua, yeah, we're gonna maybe go with that.
Tua's brother.
Tua's well, I want to give him at least some respect, but I feel like
Tua's brother.
it also might be disrespectful if I keep butchering his name. So
Tua's brother.
Tua's brother is playing out of his mind this year, and
The
I
good genes.
think
There's good genes there.
there are good genes. I think they have enough on offense to cover. I don't think they're ever going to make this game necessarily competitive where they can try to steal it on the road, but I think they have enough to potentially have like a backdoor cover
I
situation.
I like Tua's brother. I knew Tua's brother played there, but really the reason why I'm picking Maryland is one Carl Heiser, but two, like Ohio State just hasn't impressed me. Yes, they beat Notre Dame in a heartbreaker, and if we had 11, if they had 11 guys on the field, they might have
That's
won that game.
the point.
But like they just haven't impressed me as years pass. And granted, the last few Ohio State teams have been, you know what I'm saying, but like this team hasn't really impressed me, so we're gonna go with Maryland.
I'll be interested to see if Trey drops in the slack again that we're a little too light on Ohio State because I believe it was going into the Notre Dame game. I believe both of us took Notre Dame and he dropped in the Slack that we were being a little too light on Ohio State. And I mean,
I missed it.
they won the game, but I mean Notre Dame covered. I could also be wrong in that, but I'm fairly positive Trey has
He's
mentioned Ohio State and us picking against him.
I think toothpaste. Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, who is
Tooth
Griff? It's
toothpaste.
toothpaste.
Toothpaste I think he's an Ohio State guy as far as my context clues. So he doesn't like the quarterback from Ohio
He doesn't
State.
like McCord. No.
Yeah, so I think Trey's like, no, he's fine. He's not great, but he's fine. And so I think that was the whole thing. So I don't know. I'm not Ohio State. I'm just like, I guess.
Shout out to Toothpaste, number 2 overall pick, by the way. If you know, you know.
If
All
you
right,
know, you know.
moving on. We've got we got a Big Ten matchup here again as well. We've got Rutgers going up against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's 13.5-point favorites at home. Chickster, are you going with the Badgers?
You go first, because I have to do a little research. Like I told you, I've not had a chance. I've been busy. I haven't had a chance to do a little, just get a little sightseeing on
I
here.
think I want to believe in this Wisconsin team. I want to believe that Luke Fickell is going to have these guys eventually firing on better cylinders on offense than they were in years past. But 13.5 is kind of a lot. I don't think I'm so. Camp Randall's a hard place to play, though. Yeah, I'll take Wisconsin.
Uh, I'm gonna take the Rutgers. Um, I like Braylon Allen. That motherfucker's a dog. Like he's good. However, the Rutgers defense, like they've been they do pretty well. Like they have an average of only allowing 267 yards. That's what I was looking at. And then,
I assumed as much.
and then yeah, I had my reasonings, and then less than 100 yards per game in rushing, like 169, and fucking passing. And so I don't know. I feel like the Rutgers defense will help them. I don't think they win this game, but I think they can keep it within 2.
All right. We are going to go on to our next game here on the ESPN College Pick 'Em
Fuck,
sheet.
that's a big line.
We've
Fucking
got the 2 and 3 Virginia Tech Hokies, plus 25.5 against Florida State. I see this line almost makes me want to take Virginia Tech because the line is so massive, and Florida State has been playing their best ball as of late. They struggled 2 weeks ago. But
this is tough.
They're due for a bounce back game though, where they look like playoff contenders again. And you know what? I think it happens here. They're playing at home. They're playing at Doak Campbell, if that is the name of the stadium still. I don't know if it is, but it once was. I'm gonna take Florida State. I'm gonna take FSU.
Oh, I don't like this line. I don't.
It's a little too big.
Florida State. They haven't blown out anybody like Boston College was able to keep it close.
I would feel more confident in picking Florida State if Jared Verse was playing up to what he was projected to be. Jared Verse at the beginning of the year was supposed to be a world beater, top 5 pick, best edge rusher in the class, and he's not playing at that level to this point. But that also makes me think that he's due for a big breakout game. And maybe it's this week. Maybe we get 2.5 sacks out of Jared Verse this week. That'd be huge, But I think he's due for one, and FSU is due for a game where they just beat the brakes off of somebody, and maybe it happens here.
I'm gonna take the points. I don't. I think if that line was, 4.5 points lighter, I would take FSU. But I don't like it. I just don't like that line. It's
and you can see here America's pretty split on it as well. I like you were saying, I think if it was like 20.5, 21.5, this might be hello. Go away. Sick. Got it. Okay, we're gonna move on. If that line was a little bit smaller apart, that it would probably be a little bit bigger in favor of Florida State.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that would have been better, but I gotta go with Virginia Tech until Florida State really kind of proves it to me.
we've got the Orange of Syracuse plus 9.5 traveling to Raleigh to play the 14th ranked North Carolina Tar Heels and Drake May. I'm repping the UNC gear right now. That wasn't by coincidence. That was by
Yes, it was.
design.
He was doing that. Free
This
money.
is this is my free money game of the week.
This
I
might be free
I
money.
I know that UNC hasn't. They also haven't played their best ball of the year over the last couple weeks. They had a real big scare, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago. But this is another team where this is a game that Drake May could put his on the table and show everybody why he is a
Put his
perennial
what?
top pick.
His dick?
There you go.
Are
I
you?
gave you a lob, and then there goes the lob, and it hit the ground, and we went out of bounds. It's turnover. I gave you the lob.
I thought. Oh, I was being respectful and letting you speak, and you just stopped, and I was like, "What? We're not saying dick anymore."
I guess that's fair.
I was like,
We were trying to have ESPN, and it wasn't happening.
I
That's
was
on.
like, I was like, what type of world we live in? Where we can't say dick anymore. Like,
Yeah,
I just can we just say dick?
all
Like
right.
dick.
That's on me. This is why I don't play point guard. I'm not a ball handler. I'm not a facilitator.
Yeah, you
I
fucking Richard.
I'm taking all right. I'm taking the Tar Heels, and this is my free money game of the week. Give me UNC.
I'm gonna take UNC. I really like I told you, I haven't looked at this slate, so you're getting like live reactions for everyone watching. So I gotta see the slate, and then I'm like, okay, let me see where my free money's at.
This if I don't think we've done a free money parlay for college football yet. I know we do free money games. I don't think we've done a parlay. If you're going to do a free money parlay out of these college football picks this year, these are the two picks to do so. I'm hammering Kansas.
Can't I was really disappointed in Kansas. But I believe their quarterback got drunk. Not drunk. I was drunk.
Drunk?
I was drunk. He
He
got
got
injured.
he got shit faced.
You know what's crazy? I had one drink and I was drunk. That's how low my
I
tolerance is.
believe it.
Like because I don't drink all that much.
It's
Like
true.
now
Now
working
that you
and
got a little baby.
family, right? Like there's never time. So like I did, and I was like,
So man, Vegas
bruh,
is gonna be a blast if you're a one
bro,
drink drunk kind of guy. It's gonna be a blast.
bro, you're not lying. But I've their quarterback got injured, right? Is he playing?
That is a good question. I'll take a look at that.
I think if he's playing, free money, absolutely. UCF actually that had a scare of their own last week against Baylor. I believe it was Baylor. I was watching that game, UCF and Baylor, and UCF had a few score lead on them, and Baylor was coming back, and you can't let Baylor do that and have me take you serious, you know. So if the Kansas quarterback is playing, I forgot his name, but if he's
Jalen Daniels.
is he playing?
Jalen Daniels missed practice Monday. This is the news report from yesterday from ampkansascity.com, the Kansas City Star. It is a back injury that caused him to miss the season opener against Missouri State, and he missed the game against Texas altogether. He didn't get injured during it. He missed the game altogether.
Oh, I wish I would have knew that before I took Kansas. Oh, um,
But it's a day-to-day situation right now, according to the staff.
I'll take Kansas. I'll take Kansas. I'm not free. I'm not free money in it right now. Like I said, I want to see the rest. But UCF really went down on my stock for how that shit with Baylor went last week. That shit was horrible. Um,
We're moving on to our next game, which is an SEC matchup that sees the Kentucky Wildcats, currently ranked 20th in the country, taking on the number one team in the land, Georgia Bulldogs. Just for a little housekeeping again last week.
fuck Georgia,
I
bro.
believe Alex has taken Georgia 3 times this year, and Georgia is 0-3 when he picks him.
That shit's horrible.
Just
You know what?
a little
Do you want me to go
caveat
first
there.
then? You want me to go first?
I am curious to see if you ride
I'm
with
gonna
him
take
again.
Georgia. I'm gonna take Georgia
Okay.
because you know what? I'm a big And you know this. I'm stubborn. Like I'm a
Listen,
very
the thought process is they got to hit eventually.
like that. That's it. Like, and that's a horrible
They're due
mentality
to
if you're
cover.
like that's a horrible mentality if you're a gambler. Like, well, I got to get it eventually. Good thing we're not betting money, but hell yeah, like I'm gonna pick Georgia.
I can't do it again. I've picked against Georgia every single week this year, and I've hit every single time. And I'm taking Kentucky here again. Georgia are slow starters. This is another game where I don't know that I'm going to do it, but I would be tempted to take Kentucky first half money line because Georgia are slow starters. And plus, Ray Davis last week for Kentucky ran all up and down the field. And so they're going to want to feed the hot hand, especially early, and establish that tempo and momentum. I'm taking Texas, or I'm taking
So you're
Kentucky.
doing the money line. You're gonna talk yourself into the money line, the first half money line.
I I might sprinkle it. I might because I listen. It worked with South Carolina. South
I was
Carolina
I was
first
with
half
you on
money
that one.
line. That is
I was
true.
with you on that
That
one.
is true. You did ride with me with that, and luckily I cashed for a tidy little payout, which is great. I'd be tempted to take it. I might have to look at the odds at that just to take a peek. Next up, this is really heavy with Big Ten matchups this week on the college picks. We've got the Michigan Wolverines, number 2 in the country, traveling to Minnesota to play the Golden Gophers, 19.5-point home dogs. I mentioned before, every single episode that Michigan's on, we've gotten intel from our Michigan guy, James Herrick, that this Michigan offense doesn't really put a ton of points on the board. They're methodical, they're slow paced. But last week, they put up 40. They looked really good. I'd be tempted to take Michigan here, but I want to get Alex's thoughts first.
I'm gonna take Michigan. I I don't know. Like, do I think Michigan is the second best team in the nation? No, but they're playing Minnesota. I'm not. I don't know. Michigan's flat out better, and I think they're 3 touchdowns better than Minnesota. So Minnesota,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
See, I don't know. Because I almost talked myself out of it just now. Is that
Did you?
crazy? I
Maybe.
don't know. See, the problem is this matchup hasn't been very kind to Minnesota in recent
No.
years. They
Mm-mm.
haven't beaten Michigan since 2014, but that was when they went into Ann Arbor and won. I believe it was like 31-14 or something like that. They put the beating on them, but that was damn near almost 10 years ago at this point. I don't think they've played since 2020, since the COVID year.
Dark
So,
times.
yeah, those are sincerely dark times.
I actually,
I
I actually didn't mind it as much because like
got to stay home.
spring break to summer, I chilled.
Yeah,
I was
you were big
like
chilling.
everyone was freaking out. I was like, but those people were not homebodies. I'm a homebody. Like,
Ain't that the truth?
all right. What is that supposed to mean?
All right, I to get us back on track because we were about to deviate really quick. I think I'm gonna take Michigan. I don't love it. I don't have the most confidence in that pick, but I'm gonna take Michigan. I'm gonna ride with you there.
I'm gonna take Michigan.
We've got Georgia Tech plus 20.5 traveling down to Miami to play the Hurricanes, who are
What?
undefeated on the year.
Who has Miami played?
I can tell you
No, I already looked at it. Miami doesn't play. They haven't played shit.
they've played A&M, and
Who gives a
A&M
fuck about
like
A&M?
A&M. I mean, shit, they're an SEC team. They recruit well, but I mean,
Barely.
it's what do you mean they recruit well? They had, I believe, like the highest rated recruiting class in the like of all
No,
time.
no, no, no. I was talking about before when you were like they're in the SEC. I was like barely. They have not been very good. You know that.
Those two don't have a correlation. Them being
Jimbo
good and being
Jimbo
an
is
SEC
not a good
team,
coach. Jimbo is not a good coach.
I can agree with you on that.
Okay, so they're not good.
That I never said they. All right, forget it. Who are you picking?
I really don't want to pick Miami, but I mean Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. You want me to pick Georgia Tech? Like I can't pick Georgia Tech. I can't pick Georgia Tech in this game. I I don't think they're very good. they've lost to some bad teams. I don't know. I can't even expect them to cover 21 points, 3 touchdowns, and I don't like Miami. I don't. I think Miami's a bunch of frauds. They shouldn't be ranked. So I'm gonna take Miami, unfortunately.
I'm also going to take Miami. I have absolutely zero faith in Mario Cristobal, none whatsoever. But if if they were playing a better team than Georgia Tech, I'd be tempted. But Georgia Tech's really bad against the spread this year. Miami's 3-1, I believe, to start the year against the spread. Maybe 4-1. They were good.
Sure.
They were good against the spread this year, and they cover really well at home. This is not a pick of me saying I have faith in Miami to do well this year. This is a pick of me saying I think they can do enough to cover this week. All right, we've got DJU and the Oregon State Beavers traveling to Cal to play the Golden Bears. Alex, I see you're doing some research over there. Tell us what you're seeing.
Cal can play, but DJU can play too. This is actually a pretty enticing matchup. I do. This is actually it's a good spread. It's a fair spread. This is a good 50-50. This is where Vegas can make some money regardless either way with the 10-point spread. Um I don't think like even though America was like saying 16% right now, I don't think it's I don't think that's even close. I think this should be a little bit more like 30-70, maybe 60-40 almost. Like Cal's not a bad team. I think Oregon State covers. I think if you maybe add 2 or 3 more points to Cal's spread, I think that number like skyrockets. But since it's only 10 points, that's a touchdown and a field goal, y'all. Like, so I'm gonna have to go with Oregon State on this one.
I'm also going with Oregon State. Neither team's particularly good against the spread this year. Oregon State's 3-2, Cal 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
But in games in situations like that, you just have to go with talent. And Oregon
Yeah,
State's clearly the more talented team.
yeah. I don't think
All
Cal's
right.
bad though.
To
All right,
recap,
I need to get a free money out of here. So let me see here.
we're gonna go through it really quick, and we're gonna get your free money at the end here. We've both got Texas in the Red River rivalry. Try to say that 5 times fast. We're riding with the Fighting Carl Heisers, and we're taking the Terrapins against Ohio State. Alex has got Rutgers. I have Wisconsin. Jesus Christ, this still hasn't gone away. Alex taking Virginia Tech right there says plus 25.5. You couldn't see because this fucking box. Ha! Bitch. I'm taking Florida State minus 25.5. One of my free money games of the week is North Carolina minus 9.5 against Syracuse, who Alex is also taking. I've got a parlay, free money parlay for you guys. Kansas minus 3.5, no matter who plays at quarterback against UCF. Alex has Kansas as well. Alex is still riding with the Georgia Bulldogs with the thought process they got to cash eventually. I'm taking Kentucky. We are both taking Michigan minus 19.5. I'm not super confident in it. We both hate that we're taking Miami because we both think they're frauds. And we're riding with DJU and the minus 9.5 goal Oregon State Beavers against Cal.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with yours. I think those are free money. I'll even add, man. Let's get. I had some hot sauce today, so I'm feeling a little spicy. My asshole will hurt later, but I'm gonna go Texas. I'm gonna go Texas free money. Yeah, let's go Texas free money.
All right.
I
So
don't believe in Oklahoma.
you got 3 free money games.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not, right?
That's actually an interesting parlay that I might tail.
Yeah.
I might sprinkle that in.
I think Texas only being 6-point favorites against Oklahoma, even though it's rivalry week and you never know what's gonna happen. But Texas is a better. They're a better team.
I gotta
Way better
check
team.
the odds on Kentucky first half money line and those 3 spreads because it's probably through the roof. And if it's real tempting, I'm putting a little cheese on it.
Hey, you're gonna have to send me those. Send me the odds.
I will.
Send me the odds.
I'll send you it after this. All right, Chickster, you got anything else to add before we get out of here?
Um, Nope.
Cool. Well, down there's Chickster. I'm Garrett Burrows. Thank you for watching another episode of Hard Knocks College Football Edition. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube already, press the subscribe button. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Drop a comment if you think we're out of our minds, or if you're riding with us on our picks this week. Share this with a friend. It helps the algorithm. We'll see you next time.